So today we are going to look at some of the basic features on Scratch and how to make a program. Last time I showed you how to do simple codings, and today we want to get a little bit detailed on Scratch. So are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Now I will be sharing with you my screen and the project supposed to create. So just to start doing that. So from my screen, you were able to see that. Let me just open a new one. Yep. So there we go. We have a new interface. This typically the interface of Scratch. So I'm using a different version today. I said last time the Scratch will always come with the default sprites, and in most cases, or in every Scratch, we have the cat as the default sprite. But if you don't have anything to do with this default sprite, you can simply delete it by clicking on that scissor and then deleting the sprite. And then you can create yours. So if I want to create animation that has some features like a cat or dog or whatever I'll choose, I will come here, choose new sprite form file. So there are already made files that are there. The categories are here. You can choose from either of these: programs, Scratch, media, animals. So for this case, we are dealing with animals. So I'll pick my character as a dog, and there are different options here. So I will pick this dog 2B and then complement it with dog 2C so that it can perform a certain actions like running. Like if you can see this one and this one, there's something like motion that is happening. So if I choose this one for the first one, then I will make a costume of it and import another one so that the action will be complete. So I will choose dog 2C to have the dog running. So there we have it. So after that, I will again come back and choose the background for it. I'll click on stage like what I've just done. You have options of script, background, and sound. So it is the stage background. I will go to import instead of paint and camera. I'll click on import. So under here, we also have varieties: indoors, nature, outdoors, sports, and X grid. So if I want to choose it, I've picked dog as a character, I will choose outdoors. So in outdoors, we have all sports, all that as listed. So I will choose maybe what do I choose? I want to use mansion. So in your mansion, you will have a dog, which gives you security, and maybe there's an intruder or another creature that gives you that lets you with no peace. So I will come and now start making the codes for this before I jump into creating a script for the next one. So I will write script for the dog. So the first action I will choose is control. Then I will choose to have when green flag is clicked, which is this one, as you can see on my screen where I'm pointing. When I pick that and place it there, then the action that the dog will be performing will be repeated several times. So we'll look for a code that will have repeat, like forever. Then we can also have other codes that will make the actions of the dog complete, like looks or the motion or the, just a moment. So after forever, we need to have the dog making some moves, like 10 steps. So if you click there, you will have the dog making steps to the direction that it is facing. Just to make you see that. Did you see that? The dog walked out of the stage. So we can bring it back. And it will still go until we stop it here. Now it doesn't go. So it will move 10 steps. We can make it bounce. Once it reaches the edge here, it bounces back. So if on edge bounce, if we may just try, you will see it bounced back, but it is upside down. So the script is not right. So if we may just make it right, we rotate the dog. Now you see it is now able to turn right and left, but in the right position. So we are going to stop that and write the next one. We're going to have a costume on the dog so that maybe the tail can wag around or spin, like it is sensing something. So we are going to the costume and edit dog 2C. So there we have it. We are going to pick the selection tool like that and select the tail like that and rotate it and then place it back like this. Make sure you place it properly. No? Okay. So if you may see the dog's tail is now facing down. Let's just go back to the script and see what happens. But there's still no action that is being done on the tail. So we are going to write a code or a script that is going to make that action complete. So we're going to go to looks and choose next costume. Next costume. Now you can see the tail moving very fast. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
So with that done, we want to regulate the speed or the rate at which the tail of the dog is spinning. So we're going to go to control, then pick on wait 1 second. We choose that to be 0.1 second. So if we may just try, you will see the dog, at least the tail is on a good speed. Are you able to see that? So the next code we are going to create is we want this dog to be barking, but we don't want the dog to be barking continuously, since we said when clicked, when the green flag is clicked, the dog is supposed to perform all those actions we've created. So in this context, we want to use keys to control the barking of the dog. Not all the time it will be barking. So we are going to use this the space bar key. When pressed, the dog will bark. So we are going to go to sound and import the animals and dog 1. You hear that? Then we click there. Now we go to sounds right here and click when okay, there it is. So if I press, you hear that? So if the dog is, you can hear the action is happening. So if once I press the spacebar key, the dog barks and it's moving at the same time. So we want to make another character that will be giving this dog some challenges. like dog is for security, so we're going to make another character that is going to challenge the security it offers to the manager. So let's look at the character that can be nuisance. Parrot. Yes. So we have these parrots. So we might start by picking that one. Now, because the parrot here is a large size, we can reduce it by picking this and reducing it this way to a size that is reasonable. Yes, like that. Now we have it. For this parrot, you can see the wings are facing down. Misty, are you following?
Yes.
Okay. By Friday, I expect you to have created animation like what I'm sharing with you. So on Friday, you will make a presentation and share with me. So please be attentive. You can see the wings of the parrot facing down. We can make another costume of the parrot with the wings facing up so that it will flip down up. So okay, here it is. So we have actually already changed. So we are going to write the script for the parrot and see what is real there. So for the parrot to fly either up, down, right, or left, we will need to use certain keys on the computer keyboard, and those keys are the arrow keys. So we are going to use control, and when a certain key is clicked, we are going to start with the up arrow key, then point on the directions, motion, direction, because it is upward, we're going to choose what direction. So our up arrow key is on 0. After that, we are going to make the moves. How many moves upward? 10 steps. So this is for the stack of moving the Sprite Parrot upward. Let's duplicate this and see what happens when you want to move to the next one, downward. Down the direction is which one? 180. We duplicate this and place it there. We point on which one? The right arrow. Right arrow, what direction does it offer? Right is 90. We duplicate this to the left arrow. Left arrow is that one. We choose, okay, left arrow is negative 90. So in this case, if I may try, you see the parrot here is turning facing up, so it is not right. We may need to rotate it like that. So if I may just try, it is moving upward, downwards, right, you can see, left, actually it's turning. So that is what happens when you are writing script or codes for a certain character, like our case. You need to specify which keys you're going to use to control the characters to move from one position to another. So in that context, we've written codes for the parrot for to use arrow keys. So it is up, down, right, left, and the directions are also given there. So if you're to point on up arrow, 0. When you are to point down arrow, it is 180. It is to point right, it is 90. Left is negative 90. So those are the codes. Now, if I was to write an action that will make the parrot actually flip the wings, I will need to write on looks and place next costume in each and every stack of this, like that, like this, like this. So if I may just try, you see that? You see the wings are going down and up. So which means the bird will be able to flip. You can see I'm using the arrow keys. I believe you can see the parrot flipping the wings. you able to see that?
Yes.
Great. Now that is that. If we want to add more of codes or script on the same sprite, we can choose to have the color changing, the color of the parrot changing. So in this case, we're going to use the control, and when the green flag is clicked, we repeat the actions forever until you stop it. Okay, the next one is change the color. So we're going to go to the looks, change the color effect by 25, place it there. So if I may just try that, you'll see the color of the parrot like here changing very fast. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
So if I may just move, the color of the parrot is changing very fast. So we can actually control that by giving control. Well, wait 1 second. There you write 0.1, and there you have it. So if I may just try again to see the difference, at least it is changing, but not that fast. So that is that. I would expect you to do the same as what I'm doing right now. So we want to have the graphics effects changed. You will bring when a certain key is pressed. You remember we pressed Z for the dog to bark. Now we're going to press Z for the parrot to have clear graphic effects. Clear graphics effect is on looks. Clear graphics effects here is. You can as well add something to say about maybe the parrot will be answering the dog back when it barks at it. So you say hello for 1 second, then you change this hello to please don't bark at me. Please don't bark at me. Please don't bark at me. And then we can also import the sound. I said in my previous class that you can record the sound for yourself to complete the animation. So in this case, if you want to record your sound like what I did for this, you can come here and click there. You will have an option of recording like what is now appearing on my screen. Now, because we wrote the words that the parrots are supposed to say back to the dog is please don't bark at me, so you can record that by clicking on this red button. Once you click on it, you are supposed to be able to record. Then you click OK to save. But in this case, I had pre-recorded that sound, so I will go to import, then go to sounds, then it is here. Click OK. If you can just listen to it.
Please don't bark at me.
So that's the sound I recorded for the bird or the parrot. So if I want to use it, I will go to sounds and go to scripts and then use until done. So if I press Z,
Please don't bark at me.
you hear the sound.
Please don't bark at me.
Yes, like that. So that is all about creating animation on something of this kind. So maybe the bird will depart from this tree, the parrot will depart from that tree, and then if I want to run the program now, I will click on the green flag. Remember all the keys that I've used the arrow keys pointing up, down, right, left. I've used the Z key and the spacebar key. Each of those keys are supposed to have, you're supposed to have them on so that the animation can be complete. So if I may just start, I click on the green flag, the dog will be moving and the parrot is there. So if I press Z, and specify key, you will get the bark
Please
sound from
don't
the
back
dog,
at me.
and the parrot is also beta answering back, but
Please don't back
we've
at
not
me.
started flying the bird. So if we may just start, you see the bird flying, the parrot flying.
Please don't back at me. Please don't back at me.
Like that.
Please don't back at me. Please don't back at me.
Amen. Like that. So okay, so if I was to control the bird or the parrot, I will use the arrow keys, either up or down, or right or left. You can also create a score for this kind of animation or game to show that a certain specific task is complete. So you can create a score maybe showing that the dog was the parrot bites the dog, or even that the parrot answered back at the dog. So it is upon you to choose which action would you want to earn yourself a score for. So in this context, I will like to remind you that we will be having a presentation on Friday. Just get the chords right. I will share these recordings with you so that you can get the chords right. So next time we meet, that is tomorrow, and Friday you are supposed to present your animations. So I'm moving the parrot using the arrow keys. That is to the right, and you can see the parrot flipping the wings perfectly, and it turns back using the left arrow keys. And if I want the dog to back, I'll press the spacebar key, and the parrot will answer back using the Z key.
Please don't back at me.
Like that.
Please don't back at me. Please don't back at me.
So any question up to there? Hey, did you understand anything I said? Yes, Mystery, did you hear what I said?
Yes.
What do you think can be the challenge on your side if you are to create such animation? Yes? Anything that you feel can be a challenge on your side? Yes? What do you think can be a challenge? The dog. Yes, what about the dog? What challenge is the dog giving you? Yes?
Challenge to the parrot.
Barking at the parrot. Now, let me just repeat about the codes we used. When we click on the dog, you'll find the codes we used. There's not so many as the ones we used for the parrot. So if we want to start writing the codes for the script for the dog, we will need control code or scripts. So we'll start by looking at when the green flag is clicked, like what we've just indicated here. Here. So when you see this green, this is the green flag we're talking about. So once you click on this, all these actions are supposed to happen. And the actions that are supposed to be done by the dog are supposed to be repeated until you click stop. That's why we use forever. So the first action is when the dog eats the edge, it's supposed to bounce back. For instance, let me just try to show you that. You'll find the dog will be running to the end. It reaches the edge, it bounces back. Are you able to see that? So
Yes.
it's supposed to make like 10 moves before it reaches the edge. Then the costume we used, this costume was to have the tail of the dog doing another action, separate from just walking. That's why we did the costume. And then when we said the dog was supposed to be barking, we used a spacebar key. When spacebar key is pressed, that's when it is barking. We did not put it under when the green flag is clicked, since if we put that, the dog will be barking throughout the time. And that might not sound so professional. That's why we picked when a certain key on the computer keyboard is pressed, that's when the dog barks. So for instance, if I may just press, you will hear the bark. And the sounds are from here. You click there, you find the dog. If you don't have the sound, you can import or record. When you click on import, you will find varieties or options. So it is upon you to choose which sound will prefer the character that you're using. When we look at, maybe if I may just stop, when we look at the action we created for the parrot, let's go to the script, you find it is having more script than the dog. It's having more codes on it than the dog. So in this context, we are giving the parrot a priority to perform various actions than just flying and giving a challenge to the dog. So we were using different keys to let the parrot perform those actions. So in this case, we started using the arrow key. On the computer keyboard, we have the part that has the cursor movement keys, the arrow keys. The one that's pointing up, there's another one pointing down, right, and left. So those are the arrow keys that we are going to use to control the actions of the parrot. So if I use when up arrow key is pressed, the action that is supposed to happen, it's supposed to move in direction to 0. Actually, when you point here, you will find options given. When you're moving to the right, it is 90. When you're moving to the left, it's negative 90. When you're moving up, it is 0. So those are the directions. When you're moving down, it is 180. And then the move is supposed to be 10 steps. So these costumes, we found it on Luke's costume. The next costume we used here was just to make the parrot flip the wings. So if I press the arrow key, If I press the arrow key that is pointing up, you will see the parrot flipping up the wings and flying up. So the next costume is just to enable the parrot to flip the wings. And then we move to the down arrow keys, which perform the same action, but it allows the parrot to move downwards. The right keys, when pressed, it's just do as the up and the arrow, the down arrow keys, as well as the left. So all these other actions are kept constant. Move 10 steps and next costume, just to enable the cat move 10 steps and the costume that will allow the parrot to flip the wings. And then we also use this code to enable the parrot to make changes on the color. So if we just click there, you will see the parrot changing its color to different colors, and the time we use here was to give us a good timing on the parrot's wings and the color changes. And then the last part was when the parrot was to answer back from the dog. We used the Z key, since that was the key we used on the dog. So in this case, if I may just press Z key,
Please don't back at me.
you hear the parrot talking. So those are the codes that we use to get animations in this of this nature. So I think I have explained everything you need to know when you're creating a presentation, maybe for Friday. I believe you will get everything. Unless you have another question. Yes, please. So have you gotten everything right? So if I may just show you again how it is to run this game, use the Z key and see, please don't back at me.
Don't back at me.
And use the right arrow key. You see it is flying to the right. If I want it to fly to the left, I will have it done, do that. If I want to bring the parrot down and maybe bite on the dog and then fly up very fast and run, and maybe have the dog barking and running again, so you can perform all those tasks together. So the dog is running, it will reach the earth end and comes, and then the parrot will also follow and maybe bite on the dog, then fly up very fast, and the dog is barking
Don't back at me.
and it's answering back.
Please don't back at me.
Then it flies back.
Please don't back at me.
Like that. So
Please don't back at
that's
me.
what I expect of you Friday to come up with. I told you, brother, you can make it as a team. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that's that. You may